Other stuff, Mike. Maddog Magnotti on this freezing cold day in January. Oh my gosh, what's good about January? Okay, Martin Luther King Day, that's a cool thing, but you may have the day off. Me, no. I work for myself. I don't give myself the day off. I like to tell myself it's because people desperately need my help in my counseling business. Yeah, keep telling yourself that, Mike. Hey, nice to have you. Nice to be here today. You know, I've got a couple things for you, though, today. You know, I used to go out with this girl. I mean, she was cute and I liked her, but man, what a nag she was. Jeez, what a pain in the butt. Constantly telling me, you should do this, you should do that, this is wrong with you, blah, 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 dress this way, that way. I mean, it just got to be the point I had to break up with her. I actually had to move away for a while, you know, but even while I was gone, she kept nagging me. She said, write me a letter. Finally, she said, at least write me a postcard. So I did. I wrote her one and said, I feel so miserable without you. It's almost like you being here. No, I didn't really do that. I never would have been that mean to a poor girl. Hey, but you know what a palindrome is? A palindrome, am I saying that right? A palindrome, yeah. It's a word that when you spell it backwards, it's the same with the same meaning as when you spell it forwards. Now, the word nothing actually is a palindrome, because when you spell nothing backwards, it's geniton, which also means nothing. And then, you know, I was at a bar the other night, and the bartender said to me, hey, I see your glass is empty. You want another one? I said, why would I want two empty glasses? All right, hey, look, you might notice something. I'm standing behind the table. I'm not standing in front of it. I do not have a throat mic on. We got these new mics here, NCW Live. I don't know if you can see it. If I pull it down, you can see the tip of it right here, see? And supposedly, I mean, it's nicer than having to clip up those other things, and supposedly the sound quality is better, but hey, you can let us know. But hey, I have kind of an interesting show to you today. You can see there's only one chair here, and I'm going to tell you why that is. But hey, street talk and other stuff. Mike, Maddog Magnotti, you stick around. We will be right back.
Since 1932, Camp Seneca, nestled on the beautiful shores of Lake Wenatchee, has provided children grades 1 through 12 with the ideal location for kids to learn new skills, have fun, and make friends while creating memories that will last a lifetime. Camp Seneca's rustic log cabins and their staff serve to provide each group a unique summer camp experience. Register for Camp Seneca today, www.campfirencw.org.
Happy New Year, Wenatchee Valley, from Collins in downtown Wenatchee. We are so thankful for each customer that visits our store. We appreciate you and strive to meet your fashion and gift-giving needs and give you the best service possible. Collins seeks to find new brands and your favorites like Tommy Bahama for men and women, Joseph Ribkoff, Jag, Not Your Daughter's Jeans, Tribal, and many others. Beautiful jewelry and handbags from Brighton, all at Collins, where fun meets fashion in downtown Wenatchee.
I'm Dr. Ron Singleton. See how Ideal Protein can help you.
I started Ideal Protein about 10 months ago. I'm down 123 pounds and a little over 50 inches.
Using Ideal Protein, I've lost 37 pounds in just 10 weeks.
I lost over 52 pounds in 4.5 months on Ideal Protein.
This has been a wonderful journey. The food is great and it's a very easy program to follow.
This medically designed program has repeatable, safe, and effective results. Call us today to schedule your weight loss consultation.
NCW Life Channel is proud to present the Spotlight on Business. We're going behind the scenes to bring you the story of local businesses throughout North Central Washington. How did they get started, and why are they so successful? We'll answer these and other questions each week with Spotlight on Business, Sundays through Fridays on the NCW Life Channel.
That's pretty much it. It's a great house, great neighborhood.
It's great.
Sam's still getting used to the idea of moving.
Sam, you play basketball?
Yeah.
Let me show you something. Now I'm thinking, you put your hoop right here, and you even got enough room for a three-point line. One of the things I've noticed is that if you got a hoop in your driveway, you make friends real fast.
At Coldwell Banker Levine, our agents don't just understand real estate, they understand what home is all about.
Happy day! Hey, street talking other stuff. Mike, Maddog, and you saw when we cut off before, there was only one chair here. Now there's two, and my guest Sue Baker is with us. Sue,
Hi.
I'm so
Good
glad you
morning.
made it.
Thank you.
Sue
Yes,
had to
I
show
was
up late. She had kind of a personal emergency in her life. Your son cut his hand.
Yeah.
And you just brought him back from Harborview?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah, he took a table saw to
Yeah.
it. So, but according to the hand surgeons, that's the number one reason that people come in for surgery on their hands.
Really?
Is
Is
table
because of
saws.
power well,
tools.
one of the things they told us in shop class in junior high was if you're going to tangle with a power machine, the power machine's going to win.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
somebody else told me the same thing later about lawnmowers. You tangle with a lawnmower, the lawnmower's
Right.
Okay, well, I very much appreciate you being here.
Well, thank you for having me.
Okay,
I
now this
appreciate
was
it.
important to me because now many of you know this, but many of you don't. Okay, Sue falls into the category of somebody if you don't know you should, because Sue has been the executive director and co-founder of the court-appointed special advocate program for Chelan and Douglas County for almost 20 years?
Well, since 1994, 24 years.
Yeah, 24
We're coming
years.
up on our 25th anniversary.
Okay, all right. Tell us what this program is, okay?
Okay, well, the program recruits and trains and supervises community volunteers to advocate on behalf of kids.
Right.
Kids that have been removed from their home due to abuse and neglect. It's a very unique kind of volunteer role. So they're appointed by the courts, and so they only work with children that have actually been removed due to abuse or neglect.
Okay.
We have over 100 volunteers in our community, which is
I didn't know it was
astounding.
near that many.
Yes,
That's incredible.
yes,
Great.
it is, and that do this important work. It was started in Seattle by a judge,
Yeah.
Judge David Sukup, and he just wanted a layman's point of view. He said on Superior Court, he said on many types of programs, and or not programs, but on many types of cases, and then, he'd go home at night, and he couldn't let go of the ones that had to do with the children.
Sure.
So he wanted a layman's point of view, and that's what we provide.
Okay.
So,
Okay,
going a
so
long time.
if a kid is removed from the home and placed into foster care,
Mm-hmm.
okay, what this program is set up to do is to be able to have a trained volunteer, somebody with experience, be able to advocate for the child in court.
Correct.
Okay, now again, as a former police officer, I've been involved with this program for a while, and now as a therapist who contracts with Children's Services,
Right.
I have, a good deal of contact with your folks, okay? And these are people who, come on. The kids are almost voiceless to a certain degree.
Correct.
Many of them can't express themselves the way we can as adults.
Correct.
Okay? These are people who establish a relationship with the child to be able to present the child's point of view when issues come to court, actually, right?
Yes. Well,
And maybe even if they don't come to court, correct?
his point of view, but also what's in his best interest.
Right.
Because often, children want to be home. They want to be home with their parents
Sure.
and their loved ones, and they can't until such time as their parents are able to rectify the issues that brought the children into care. So having somebody that's consistent, and that's the other thing, the CASA volunteer is appointed right at the beginning of the case when the child's removed. They stay with that child throughout the time they're in care.
And this could be something, this goes on for years at times, unfortunately.
Sometimes, unfortunately.
Sure.
We've had one young person that's been in care for 6 years.
Yeah.
And, and those volunteers, it's a married couple, they have followed him all over the state.
Right. Because
So
evidently he's been in different homes,
he's
too,
been in
right?
several different homes and placements throughout the
Tragic.
state. So,
But
and
the
it
CASA is
tragic.
somebody who's been
Consistent.
constant and consistent.
The social workers often, they'll have a CPS investigator social worker, then they'll have an ongoing social worker, and so often they get changed. And so it is important that it's consistent. We had one volunteer who went to check on a little boy that he had been appointed to, and when he got to the new placement, the little boy was sitting in the living room playing with Legos.
Sure, Legos, great.
Yeah, Legos. And Glenn walked in and he said, he turned and looked at him and he said, "I knew you'd find me." And it was just very heartwarming to know that they had that kind of a relationship.
Yeah. All right, now how did this program, you said this program got started in 94?
In 94.
Okay, how did it get started?
Well, I had moved over here from Seattle, and I had done some gardening and lighting work or CASA work in Seattle. And a couple of foster parents came to me and asked me if I would help them start a program that they really felt that at that time the kids' needs really weren't being addressed. And so I said, well, I'll help you start it. And that was 24 years ago.
Yeah, she said she'd help. Okay, I remember, she said she'd help. Okay.
Right. So we made an appointment with then Superior Court Judge Carol Wardell and said, so do you think you want a program like this? And because we knew the bench had to be in agreement. So
and she's a no-nonsense.
Yes, she's no-nonsense.
She's a great gal.
Yeah. And she said definitely, and at that point we all joined forces per se and started the program. So, and she's been supportive of it all these years, even though she left the bench and went to the PUD and now is retired.
Right.
She still is very, very active in making sure that the kids' needs get met and that the program rises to the level it needs to rise to. So.
Well, she said something interesting when she talked about your early budget.
Yes.
Her budget was?
Yeah.
Your budget was?
There was no budget. Well, I remember one time in accounting we were minus $3.45. But if we needed something, Carol or the other board members would pull out their wallets and we would, if we needed stamps or whatever. Yeah. So it was the beginning.
Okay, so how many volunteers did you have at the beginning? I mean, how did you start recruiting people to actually be willing to get involved in the kids' lives?
We just started putting the word out, and we had just 4 volunteers that came forward. But at that time, we also only had, maybe 15 kids, and then 20. Now we have over 205 kids that we're serving this month. So it has grown quite a bit, but it was just basically it started in my office at home, and there was no wage, and then other people came on board like Keith Thrapp, who had been very much a part of getting the juvenile court, juvenile detention center remodeled and up, and then Kathleen Schmidt, who's an attorney in town.
I remember Kathleen, great gal.
She also helped me, and we all joined forces. And I remember when we got to move out of my office at home and into an office, and it was Kathleen's office, and there was one small desk, and we started out, we wrote grants to try to get some funds to get a computer, and in those days, computers were a lot more expensive. And,
right.
Right. So
$2,000 for just a basic desktop.
Yeah. So we got the grant and from National CASA, and then I started getting a small wage. Didn't get a wage to begin with, and it just grew, but it grew because our community is so incredible.
Sure,
it is, the giving and caring of everybody here. And, so.
Yeah, I've heard that about how contributory the community is and how open they are from things like this and other venues as well. People who say, much different things. But
it's a small community, so we sometimes say, well, the services aren't available for our kids, or the parents need certain kinds of services, but we're able to get our kids into services here and stuff. And when in Seattle and the big areas, it's so difficult, but it's also easier for us to get the word out, because we're the only program other than one other small program that serves all of our kids with volunteers.
What's that program?
That's the San Juan, and they have 11 kids.
Oh, okay.
So they serve all their kids, but they have 11.
All right, and we have over 200 right now. And how many people of the 100 volunteers you have, is that 100 CASA workers you have?
Yes.
Wow, that's great.
Yes, we do.
So these people are taking on more than one kid. They're not just dealing with one child at a time, one case at a time.
Correct. So families, sometimes we'll have 3 or 4 children in the family,
Right.
sometimes 1, and a volunteer will take on the family.
Okay.
So they don't get in unless there's some kind of conflict that comes up where they need more than one.
Okay.
So
And then you have some volunteers actually work as a couple, correct?
yes, we do.
A couple of my friends do. I
Yes.
know, so.
Yes, we
Okay.
do. And that's great. It allows them to be able to kind of divide up the work. You know,
Yeah.
some of them like to do the written reports and the
Right.
paperwork. The others like to do, with the children directly. And so it makes a really good way to meet everybody's need. And it's emotional work.
Yeah.
And
I
they're
would
not
imagine.
able to go out and really discuss the work. And so it gives them also that way, they're both.
Oh, yeah, a good sounding board. You
Good
know,
sounding board.
Of course, then if a couple's communicating well, they can bounce stuff off each other.
Right.
But one might, see something or
Correct.
be intuitive about something that the
Yeah.
other might
Yeah.
naturally miss. So, but hey.
Right.
Okay, we're talking with Sue Baker. Sue is currently the executive director of the court-appointed special advocate program here in Chelan and Douglas County, and we're going to talk more with her when she comes back because I have some bad news for you regarding Sue.
Oh.
So, it's good news for her, but
That's
it's
good
kind
news for
of, well,
Yeah.
let's hope it's good news for everybody. But hey, Street Talk and other stuff, Mike Maddog Magnotti, you stick around. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Did you know that dental disease is the #1 illness affecting a pet's health? Bacteria from the mouth gets carried into your pet's blood and can affect the heart, lungs, and kidneys. By age 3, nearly 75% of pets have some form of dental disease. Dr. Shauna Bass and the staff at Paws and Claws Veterinary Hospital care about your pets, and good dental care can help your pet live a long and happy life. Learn how to clean your pet's teeth or see what Paws and Claws can do to keep your pet smiling by calling 888-PAWS or see us on the corner of 4th and Island, East Wenatchee.
NCW Life Channel is proud to present the Spotlight on Business. We're going behind the scenes to bring you the story of local businesses throughout North Central Washington. How did they get started? And why are they so successful? We'll answer these and other questions each week with Spotlight on Business, Sundays through Fridays on the NCW Life Channel.
When our customers come to senior insurance, again, we're thinking more about the whole experience, and that's why I took a lot of time to design a space like this where we teach people about Medicare. We don't sell insurance, we teach you how to buy insurance, because buying is something you do, and I want folks to be a part of this. So as they're heading out, I hope they feel like they've been educated, they're now in a suitable fit, and I hope they also had a good laugh and a good time.
Lake Chelan Mailboxes is a small place with a lot to offer. Job one is shipping and receiving from A to Z. They pack it, they label it, they ship it. But did you know we also offer notary service, online computer access, legal forms, copies, greeting cards, and of course, mailboxes. Chelan Mailboxes is everything you need in one small package.
All right, we're back. Street Talk and other stuff. I'm talking with Sue Baker, who is the current executive director of the court-appointed special advocate program, a very significantly important program for the kids in our community who've been removed from their homes due to abuse and neglect. They're appointed a adult volunteer who stays with the child all through the system.
Yes.
But I mentioned that we have some kind of bad news, not necessarily bad, but
No, I don't think it's bad.
okay.
So I'm retiring.
Yes.
At the end of this month. I'm going to go and do some other things.
Okay.
So, gonna see. So anyway,
retirement's when life really starts. you
Yeah,
know, so.
right. That's what people tell me.
Yeah.
I'll have to figure that out without, getting up and going to work every day.
Yeah, you'll get there.
CASA's been definitely been my passion
Yeah.
for all these years, and basically because it's the children, and that's where my heart is with the kids. But we have a great new person coming in to take over. Lisa Melvin
Right.
will be the new ED. She's already on board trying to get caught up on everything and with running a nonprofit. because we also are there's only, I think, 4 nonprofits out of 39 programs. So along with that, while it's great because it gives you independence and that kind of thing, it also, you have to go find your money.
Yeah,
so,
right. Oh,
and,
having run a nonprofit,
So Lisa's busy.
Yeah, Lisa's a great gal, old friend of mine. So.
Working on the Bull-a-thon that's coming up, Rock and Roll for Kids, in February 23rd. And she's got everything in there, just digging away.
Okay.
So.
Well, you will be missed, you know that, okay? And you've done a great job, Sue.
Thank you.
You've been a real asset to the community and a lot of children. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, becoming a CASA volunteer. It's part of the reason why I wanted to have you on, because I know you always need people. So what is it?
We do. And we have a new training starting February 2nd. So
Okay.
if you're at all interested, give Arlene or Kenzie a call at the office at 662-7350.
Right, and again, you can always contact me, maddog@nwi.net, and I can get you in touch with these folks.
So there is
And that's February 2nd, you say?
Yes.
And the training's starting? Okay.
And you have to do a complete criminal background check and be cleared. There's 30 hours of starting training.
Okay, so 30 hours of training. Okay.
And then you are required to do 12 hours of ongoing training every year.
Right.
And it's a very thorough, really good training that National CASA has developed, and it's being used all over the United States. The training for Washington State is okayed by the administrators of the courts. They oversee that portion of it, and so it's a commitment, and we go through a whole interview process. So there's an application to complete. We have an interview committee that meets with each individual and talks about, what the program really entails. It like I said earlier, it can be very emotional, and some of the stories are pretty sad. We only get the cases where the kids have been removed from their homes. So it's funny when you start to talk about how long I've been doing this, and I did not long ago look at some stats, and so we've served over 1,600 children since we started.
Incredible. Excellent.
And that's kids right here from our community.
Right, in Chelan, Douglas counties, right?
Yes, so, and I think in April is Child Abuse Prevention and Awareness Month, and I don't know if you had the opportunity to see them or everybody out there, but we do the Pinwheel Project. So on the courtyard lawn
I have seen
is our pinwheels, and we're building up so that each pinwheel represents a child that we've served in the community.
And now, when somebody is trained and they're ready to go, aren't they mentored for a period of time?
Yes.
I mean, they're not just thrown into, they actually have somebody who's experienced.
They have a mentor or a peer coordinator that works directly with them for a minimum of 6 months to make sure that they're feeling comfortable with what they're doing, answer questions, making sure also that they're following that roadmap, that path, and getting ready for what's needed, and knowing who to talk to, and how to gather the information, how to write reports. Because it is, like I said, it's pretty intensive. But it's a lot of our volunteers work full time, and they're still able to do it. Their employer is gracious enough to help with their time, give them some comp time, whatever is needed. And then staff is great about making sure if they can't make a court hearing that they're there for them. So, and know the case and are able to advocate for the child.
Yeah, I was just in court, unfortunately, a few weeks ago, and Don Dimmitt, a good friend of mine who's one of your CASA workers, was there. Asked me a couple questions,
Yes.
Called me Mr. Magnotti, and I'm going, come on, Don, I'm your buddy.
But Don is really great.
He's a great guy. But if you don't mind my saying, now you might get mad at me for putting it this way, but this is not easy work, folks, but this is where the rubber hits the road in the lives of kids who desperately need help, okay? So, don't even think about doing this unless you're willing to be involved. The training is intensive. The work is intensive. It is emotionally challenging, okay? But again, if you want to be a difference in a kid's life, this is an incredible opportunity. And again, if you need to know how to contact these folks for the training that's coming up in February, maddog@nwi.net or give me a call. Okay, now look, I'm sorry, we need to take a break.
Okay.
When we come back, I'm going to say goodbye and thanks. I'm going to do a little personal promotion of something on a personal note, but you can stick around for that, okay?
Thank you.
So Street Talk and other stuff. Mike Maddog Magnotti. I'm talking with Sue Baker, who is the current but about to retire executive director for the court-appointed Special Advocate Program of Chelan and Douglas County. And ladies and gentlemen, we owe this woman a vote of thanks. We really do. We do.
Thank
we
you
really
very
do.
much.
You're welcome. So stick around. We'll be right back.
If you're stuck trying to find the perfect beer for you, look no further than Badger Mountain Brewing. We specialize in creating tantalizing craft beers that will soothe any picky taste buds and will satisfy your cravings. Check out everything from our amazing honey blonde that will appease even the most finicky taster, or a delicious frothy stout for dark beer lovers. Experience them all at Badger Mountain Brewing.
Hey everyone, did you know that the NCW Life channel is North Central Washington's go-to source for news? No matter how you prefer to view your news, NCW Life has you covered. Watch the evening news weeknights on TV, stream it, read it at ncwlife.com, or catch the latest news by following us on Facebook. Stay informed with local news, sports, weather, and shows featuring local people and events. NCW Life, a reflection and a spotlight of the communities we call home.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills. A chill is in the air and it's a perfect time for some old-fashioned comfort food like our amazing Eggs Benedict, chicken fried steak, French dips, soups made from scratch, or fruit pies fresh from the oven. The crowds might be gone, but we're still here for you folks. So bring an appetite and a friend to Blueberry Hills in Manson, where you pick, you sit, you eat, and you visit. Open Wednesday through Sunday from 8 to 3. wildaboutberries.com.
Okay, we're back. We're talking with Sue Baker. She's the executive director of the court-appointed Special Advocate Program for Chelan and Douglas County.
Yep.
She's about to retire, and like I said, we need to say thanks to you, okay?
Thank you.
Because you have done a tremendous work, okay?
Thank you.
So, and I'm proud to call you a friend. Can I call you a friend?
Yes,
Is
you
that
can.
right?
Yes.
Okay, but I wanted to say goodbye to Sue, but I also wanted to say this. Ladies and gentlemen, you've got a phenomenal theatrical live performance opportunity here in Wenatchee right now. Music Theater of Wenatchee has produced, and it is showing, Witness for the Prosecution by Agatha Christie. It's been directed by Matthew Pippin. Matthew has been, here's my guest, a number of times. It's got a heavyweight crew of actors, okay? Some great people who have been in other shows before. They do an incredible job. My wife and I saw it last Saturday night with a group of 4 other couples. Well, 3 other couples, 4, kind of my wife and I.
There you go.
It's a great show. Go to either Numerica PAC on Google or Wenatchee PAC, either one. It'll bring you to their website. Tickets are $15. You'll pay a little more if you get them online, but at least that way you can pick your seats and know where you're going to be. But it's just, one of the shows I want to do coming up is to talk about the phenomenal live theater experience we have here in Wenatchee, that even though a lot of people are aware of it, most people aren't, okay?
Right.
Now you
It's
mentioned
incredible.
Yeah, you mentioned yourself. You haven't seen this one yet.
I have not seen this
Okay.
one, but I had it on my list to do. But I've been to several there. I always remember Chicago when they
Right.
put that on.
Well,
and
excellent
They're
job.
they're great. Very, very talented group of
Great,
people.
great group of folks. But hey, Street Dog and other stuff. Mike Maddog Magnotti. We'll see you next week. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye.